Rothman and Coach Tim Welsh here with you courtside as we are ready to get things underway here in the Queen City. Cincinnati at 13-12 overall, have won 2 in a row and 3 of their last 5, taking on a Utah team who has struggled mightily in the conference season, and that is not a good start for Utah. An alley-oop from Day Thomas to the star for Cincinnati, Bob Miller.
Well, ironically, Eric, Alex Jensen talked about being ready for the tip yesterday at practice. As strange as that may sound, but it's a little thing all the time, are ready to really participate from day one. It's tough. It's in this conference, there's no forgiveness.
Yeah.
But right now they're playing their best basketball, so they still have some air. They still have hope coming forward down the stretch, Cincinnati. They're not obviously in the mix yet, but they have plenty of opportunity. If they keep playing like they've been playing the last couple weeks, they have a chance to make a run.
And this is a winnable game here at home. Cincinnati has played well at home. Utah just 1 in 10 in conference play. Cincinnati happy to have Mustafa Cham back in the starting lineup as he misses the turnaround hook there. Cham did not play in the last game for Cincinnati, has missed 2 of the last 3 games with an injury, as Terrence Brown, the leading scorer for Utah, misses the lay-in on the baseline drive. Here is Cham facing up. Good mid-range jumper for the sophomore from Senegal who came over from Central Florida.
He's got a sneaky good mid-range jumper. He can extend that out to the foul line area, but an important player for Cincinnati as of late has been Jalen Celestine. He's really upped his game the last couple and taken a little bit of pressure off Day Thomas and Jizzle James.
Well, Celestine got beat there on the dribble drive by Traore, and a put back underneath by James Okonkwo, who Coach Alex Jensen says has been the most improved player on his team throughout this season.
Well, the keys for Utah, obviously, Brown and McHenry at the guard spot, but playing good defense and not getting destroyed on the boards. They've really had a major problem on the backboards in league.
Utah, their rebound margin on average is -2. As Alex Jensen, it's been a tough first year for him, but a guy who is ingrained in the basketball community in Utah, was a Mr. Basketball electee when he was a high school player, then played for Rick Majerus, and then actually coached with Coach Majerus at St. Louis to get his career started.
Alex got a great perspective on the game of basketball as a whole, as he's getting used to being back in the college game after 11 years in the NBA, but obviously a much different landscape now, but he is attacking it with positivity and his intelligence, experience as a player and a coach. 4
on the shot clock. Okonkwo on the shot fake, the kick out to Dawes as the shot clock expires.
You know, Alex Jensen wants Dawes to take those shots. He told him, I'm going to take you out of the game unless you're aggressive offensively.
Trying to stretch the big 6'9" forwards game out a little bit this year, averaging nearly a double-double at 13-9. Good defense by Utah. Cincinnati struggles offensively as they are the number 15 scoring offense in the Big 12 this year. But on defense, Coach, Cincinnati wants to slow you down. It takes on average teams 18 seconds to get a shot off against Cincinnati per possession.
They do a great job of running back on defense, setting their defense, building it from the lane out, and then they don't gamble. They do a good job hedging on ball screens and rebounding the basketball, but they're not going to force the turnovers, and they're not going to do a lot of gambling, which will make you think on the offensive end.
We have a veteran backcourt in Day Thomas and Jizzle James, who have played together for a couple of years now. A couple substitutions for the Utes, who are 9-15 overall, looking for a road win here today against Wes Miller in his 5th season. And again, it's been an emotional, frustrating year for Coach Miller, but you know, when he's been talking to us before games this year, has been very outgoing, has been very positive. He really believes in this team. That just the results haven't been there. They've lost a ton of close games, most recently a blown home lead against West Virginia that really seems like it has rejuvenated their team, because they've come out the last 2 games scoring over 90 points in both those wins.
You know, when you look at this from a coaching perspective, you mentioned that he believes in this team. Well, I believe they believe in him as well. You wouldn't play at this point in the season as hard and as well together if you didn't have a good system, believe in each other and in the coach and what he's saying.
Keanu Dawes puts it on the ground, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Deserving of, especially after the win over Iowa State. But Kansas, Texas Tech, I mean, you look at those two teams that could be in the Final Four, might be BYU as well. But it's a great opportunity. And if they play like they have over the last couple of weeks, especially in their win over Iowa State here, they have terrific basketball mind overall, all of his experience, both as a coach and as a player. But he's just trying to get this team to find some identity on the road defensively and on the glass.
I mentioned the wrong Traore. It was actually Ibrahima Traore, the freshman who got the bucket. Long rebound after the Day Thomas miss. Now Thomas will try again, this time in the corner. And Cincinnati, coach, that's what they've done well the last couple games, shooting nearly 60% from three.
Well, between Thomas, James, and Celestine, they've got three guys that can really get going. And then, of course, Baba Miller, once he gets going as that fourth option, that's where Cincinnati can really light you up.
There is Terrence Brown without a point so far in this one until that little pull-up Jay.
Good job by Brown just using that ball screen and attacking on the switch. Miller just kind of backed up. He should have got a little tighter with that length.
Spent a couple years at Fairleigh Dickinson before transferring to Utah, averaging 21 points per game this year to lead the scoring for the Utes. Mustafa Cham stripped as he was.
So he's not just a low block player. We mentioned it earlier. He's a guy that can step out as a nice touch from the perimeter and has a good understanding of and feel for the game, when to post up, when to step out, set ball screens for his guards.
You mentioned that upset of Iowa State. Some of the assists that Baba Miller had in that game to facilitate the three-point shooting. Really key for the upset of then number 2 Iowa State. Sanders in the corner. He answers with a three for Utah.
Despite what happened on the tip, Utah has managed to come back with a good confidence early on the offensive end, just doing a pretty good job of spacing the court and reversing the ball to an open shooter.
They've made 3 shots in a row to cut the Cincinnati lead down to 3. There's Sincere Harris, known as a defensive specialist, and airmails that jump shot. Don McHenry, the backcourt mate of Terrence Brown. Those two, a lot of experience. McHenry, a 5th-year player, transferred from Western Kentucky. And a three from Keanu Dawes. You mentioned it, Coach, earlier. If he can do that, he is so much more of a threat on the offensive end.
Well, that was a good job by Utah. They hunted that mismatch there. They got Cham to have come out and guard Dawes out on the perimeter. He backed up a little bit, not used to playing people out there, and Dawes just felt comfortable launching from downtown.
All 3 of his field goal attempts today have been from 3. That's the first one he's made. Just a 29% three-point shooter on the season. That ties things up here at 14. Under 13 minutes to go in half number 1. Jizzle James, as the shot clock was expiring, forced into a bad shot. James has been the hero for Cincinnati the last couple games, averaging nearly 20 points over the 2 wins.
Elite teams from year to year and see what they have roster-wise, and I think that's where Alex and Utah will really benefit going into next year.
Jensen, coming from the pro level, was an assistant for the Jazz and the Mavericks. Also a head coach in the NBA G League here in Ohio for the Canton Charge. Offensive rebound, put back by Miller.
Well, that's one of the problems Utah's had all season, just a lack of real size on the interior. And that time they checked out Miller, but he just jumped and leapt right over the top of Utah. And here they come on offense in transition.
Thomas being chased by Traore, flipped it back to Celestine. He doesn't miss that badly from 3 very often.
You know, we mentioned he's been very effective as of late.
Last 2 games, 7 of 9 from 3. Three-pointer misses short for McHenry. shot clock. Tillery unable to advance the ball very far and says, you know what, fine, I'll just pull up and take a three.
I'm playing against Day Thomas and Jizzle James every day in practice really has helped Tillery. I know Wes Miller likes him a lot as one of the future players in this program.
Freshman, averaging just 3 points per game, but as Coach mentioned, having to play behind James and Thomas, so doesn't see a ton of minutes. McHenry back-to-back misses from that corner 3 spot. Cincinnati has not gotten Baba Miller too many touches. He's working for one here on a mismatch against Brown. Back-to-back for Keyshawn Tillery. And so Cincinnati, Anna Kennedy, the Big 12 Pitcher of the Year last year, as her team at #1 as they take on Nebraska later on this evening. It's almost baseball. It's baseball and softball season.
I hear that
here,
in
Coach.
my house, Eric. Girls rule.
That's right, mine too.
And boys blank. I'll let you fill in the blank.
We're both outnumbered.
Hey, it's great stuff, though. In 2026, the opportunity for women's sports is just growing and growing, and give the NCAA. Everybody wants to rail on the NCAA and Charlie Baker and everything else, but they're doing a great job of increasing not only scholarships for women's sports, but just the exposure. And the ESPN, of course, as well. And be excited to see a little SEC action later today. How about 9 teams in the top 25 on the women's side?
Much like the men's side was last year for the SEC. Miller in transition. Tillery has scored the last 6 for Cincinnati. A 10-0 run for the Bearcats. Bob Miller drew the double team, finds Tyler McKinley for the lay-in.
Well, they know playing with Miller. If you cut and move and read the defense, that he will find you. Such an unselfish passer, willing, outstanding skill. Good read, though, by McKinley on that dive to the rim.
Miller averages 3 assists per game on the year. One of 3 players to average 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, along with Cam Boozer and Michael Ajayi. And a 3 in the corner ends a 4-minute drought for Utah. Seydou Traore knocks it down as the Utes are back within 5.
And it's hard to double Miller because he's so long. He's 6'10", 6'11", but he's got those long arms, and he can just see over any trap from the outside.
Pulls up from 3. Struggled from 3 this year, just 6 for 39, but he's made 3 of his last 4 coming into today. And he gets a steal there. Quick outlet pass. Day Thomas left it behind him. Thomas for 3. Right into the hands of Miller. He'll give Thomas another go. This time from 2. Still not there.
Again, that's a little quick. Thomas can get those shots at any time in the offense. When they've moved the ball and had everybody touch it and feel a part of it, especially Miller, that's when they're at their best.
Cincinnati 7 assists on 10 made field goals here in this game so far as we hit the 6-minute mark of the first half. Spot up 3. Comes up short for Obamate Abbey, the freshman from Finland. Utah 3 for 8 from 3. Cincinnati 3 for 6. McKinley backing down Dawes. 3 on the shot clock. Good move by Tyler McKinley, the freshman from right here in Cincinnati, out of Winton Woods High School.
3 on the shot clock, but everybody touched it. They changed sides of the floor. They reversed the ball. They got into the gaps. Then they went inside and scored.
McKinley averaging just 2 points per game this year. Miller, another steal. Baba, coast to coast.
Just Baba Miller showing all of his skills this afternoon early, and hasn't had to score, but he's defensively making plays, switching out, offensively skilled that time on the overplay. You've got to read him. You can't throw a loose pass on the perimeter against when Miller's in the neighborhood.
Largest lead of the game for Cincinnati as Dawes misses. Okonkwo on the offensive glass. Brown off the mark. Another chance for the Utes. Dawes wanted it back after he tracked down the offensive rebound. He knocks down the three, slows down what was a 16-3 run for Cincinnati.
Pretty good grit on that possession by Utah. Trying to find any.
As he's got 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Cincinnati getting 14 points in the paint. Utah 0 for 6 on layups, coach. They've missed some close ones, but still right in this ball game. 32-26 to score, just over 4 minutes to go. It's Jordi Rodriguez coming off the bench for Cincinnati and taking his first shot of the game.
When you watch Utah, and particularly on the road, they have not won a game, but you see them, they play hard, and that's what they're doing this afternoon. They have obviously missed some easy bunnies, but they're playing pretty tough on the defensive end. They're doing what they have to do on the glass. They just have to make sure they tighten it up when they do get to point-blank range.
Jam had that ball knocked out of his hands by Don McHenry. Utah now 4 for 11 from three-point range after that last miss. Five on the shot clock. The lefty, McHenry.
Well, there's not much more you can do if you're Cincinnati. That was a pretty good defensive set, but there's McHenry and Brown. They can make things happen on their own, out of the context of their sets, and that's what they need to continue to do against this Cincinnati pressure.
Work it inside to Bob Miller, under 3 minutes to go in the half. And count the bucket. Great effort.
Feel-good situation right now for Cincinnati, coming off those last 2 wins. That very connected and bought into their rotations and their roles.
7 players have scored in this first half for Cincinnati. Back-to-back threes. Don McHenry, nearly a 40% three-point shooter on the season, brings Utah within 3.
And Thomas lost sight of McHenry. He got caught ball watching and wasn't close enough on the closeout.
Miller lowers the shoulder right into the chest of Keanu Dawes.
Well, Utah had doubled Miller at times, and he made him pay with good passes, and that time he just isolated down low, and they didn't send the double. He just shot right over the top of Dawes.
Miller was a star last year at FAU before transferring to Cincinnati. And McHenry's on a heater. He's got 8 straight for Utah.
Well, that's where he and Brown can be just so dangerous if you let them get going, and they've got to pay more attention to him, probably denying him the ball in those areas, forcing him outside on the perimeter.
He averages 17 points per game, but last game really struggled in the loss to Houston, just 5 points on 2 of 9 shooting.
Well, he got Houston. That's what that's called there.
He got Kelvin Sampson. McKinley trying to do his best Bob Miller impression, lowering the shoulder there. It's a good guy to learn from, redshirt freshman McKinley. Defense on this possession by Cincinnati as Utah goes back to McHenry, working against Jizzle James now. 3 on the shot clock. Dawes lets it fly. Under a minute to play here in half number 1.
Cincinnati, excellent job pressuring on the perimeter, not allowing McHenry to get an easy look on the perimeter. They denied him out past the three-point line.
Celestine in the corner. Does not look good on his 2 three-point attempts so far today.
He wasn't ready, but he forced the issue a little bit because he wants to get himself going, but he'll get it within the flow of the offense. And Utah, again, doing a pretty good job defensively, 1 and done.
3.5 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. The shot clock ticks down to 5. Kendall Sanders was calling for it in the corner. Would have been a long 2, and that is how we end the first half. 18 points to Utah's 6. As Utah has lost 6 straight games, they're just 1-10 in conference play, and if Cincinnati wants to keep that little glimmer of hope they have left to making the NCAA tournament. They must win here today as they try to close it out at home against the struggling Utah team. It's Terrence Brown to start things off. Brown just 6 points in that first half and immediately a turnover. Dede Thomas with the left hand. He's got 10.
Good job by Dede Thomas, just taking advantage of the opportunity of Utah, just out of sync, coming out of the locker room. It kept the ball on one side of the floor and then dribbled into trouble. They need to space it better. They've got those two good guards, but they were too close, not enough spacing offensively.
Keanu Dawes. Offensive rebound by James Okonkwo. Dawes missing the three. Well, opportunities on that possession for the Utes. Miller's lost it, working one-on-one against Dawes. Held ball, possession arrow in favor of Cincinnati. Baba Miller in that first half, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Such a well-balanced player for the Bearcats.
Well, he fills it up, and the thing about him that's so interesting and intriguing as an offensive player is he doesn't need the ball. He doesn't need to score. He can do other things, and when they include him, usually good things happen.
Dede Thomas, brick in the corner, 3. Outlet pass, great feed. What was that? I think you said McHenry doesn't have any assists on this season. That was a great pass.
He has some.
That's just a few, not his primary mode of facilitation.
Well, you know, and that's not a knock on his game. He's just, his first and foremost duty is to score, and that's what Alex Jensen wants him to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's so few scorers on this Utah team. They have to get every drop out of Don McHenry they can. That's just too easy. Jizzle James, second made field goal of the day. 4 points for Jizzle.
I think if Alex Jensen had an option, he'd want Don McHenry to score first and look to pass second.
Well, Jensen's, one of his keys to this game was transition, getting out, not letting Cincinnati settle in their half-court defense, because when they do, they really want to slow you down. Good job by McHenry and Brown on that last possession. Shot clock violation.
That's where Cincinnati did a really good job on McHenry. He was hunting his shot, but they just didn't give him any air. He got to the baseline, but this is what he can do. He has this ability, and more importantly than the pass is just the push and the speed and getting out ahead of that defense, as you just mentioned, Eric.
We saw after the next possession for Utah, the turnover, shot clock violation. Opponents take on average 18 seconds per possession against Cincinnati's defense. Cincinnati, one of the best in the country at slowing you down in the half court. 7 turnovers for Utah. That's just the 3rd on Cincinnati as the Bearcats cough it up, and Keanu Dawes had his hand above the rim on that fast break dunk.
A little surprise trap by Utah right at that half-court area, right on the sideline, and Cincinnati was too loose with the ball.
Job, foul going, build around.
It's always the, I don't know how many $1 million question you want to attach to it.
Yep.
Can we keep this man in our system?
Utah's
retention.
Got a good program. Resources, beautiful campus in Salt Lake City. Tillery pestering Terrence Brown on the far side, and Tillery knocks it loose. Here come the Bearcats. Leaner for Tillery, and he'll go to the free throw line. Back, Coach.
Duke did just really a great job yesterday against Clemson defensively. And seems like every Big Monday in the Big 12 is like a Final Four type preview, just like that game last night in Tucson.
Ohio State big win against Kansas. Henry driving, missing with the left. Got his own rebound. Brown for 3. And they're going to call Baba Miller push in the back as he was trying to get position on James Okonkwo. It's the first on Baba.
Well, they're doing a better job, Cincinnati, on McHenry so far this half. He tried that baseline drive earlier. He was trying to get to the middle of the paint. On the last possession, he got to the middle of the paint, and there's Dawes just face-cutting Miller.
Loose ball out of bounds.
Terrence Brown has made a living with this type of offense all season long. Just the ability to get in the lane. That time he shoots over Thomas. You know, Thomas and Tillery both at 6'1", and Brown only 6'3", but he's that ability just to use that length. He shoots, gets the ball over the top of his head, so it's hard to contest him, so you've got to do a better job of keeping him out of the lane where he's most comfortable.
Bob Miller back on the floor for Cincinnati. Set a good screen there to get Rodriguez open. Cincinnati 3 for 10 from deep. This area that really propelled them their last 2 games with wins over Kansas State and Central Florida. Shot nearly 60% from 3 in those 2 games. Spin cycle. Brown, no. Came up short. Mustafa Chab, the one-handed rebound.
Good job by Miller on the switch, not to foul Brown, but also good job contesting in the lane.
Foul underneath the rafters here. The team went on to win the national championship the following 2 years after Oscar turned pro and took them to a Final Four.
He appreciates Baba Miller, his ability to pass the ball and his skill level.
Dawes with the block, held ball, possession arrow with Cincinnati as Miller was trying to attack.
Good job by Dawes. He's given him some size, but he's got that power and experience. Good matchup on from the forward spot.
Celestine! It's too often.
No, it's good job offensively. Both teams starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm offensively, and you can see the guards are starting to dominate from the outside.
Job turnaround short, and Utah hasn't had the lead since it was 20-18 with 11 minutes to go in the first half.
Sorry, you mentioned about the rebound, but they're -5 in Big 12 games. That's been their huge problem, but today they are showing a lot of grit on the backboards.
Especially on the offensive end, they got 14 second chance points. Abbey, the free throw line. One and done possession there. Mustafa Chab rips down the board. Jizzle James, quick trigger.
Again, we talked about it in the first half a little bit. No pass offense. That's when Cincinnati usually is not successful.
Kenry got tipped as it was going up. Okonkwo on the offensive glass. That leads to a foul against the Bearcats. So Jalen Celestine, his first. 10 offensive rebounds now for Utah. That's not easy to do. Cincinnati, 20th in the nation in opponent offensive rebounding percentage.
Miller going to a little 2-3 zone on this baseline out.
Houston, Iowa State, part of Big Monday. Set a calendar reminder for that one. You don't want to miss it. 3-ball, air ball. Kendall Sanders missing everything.
Lost Sanders. Cincinnati very fortunate on that possession. They were out of sync and their communication wasn't good on that zone and left Sanders wide open.
Baba Miller has really struggled from 3 this year. 6 of 40 now on the season. Whoa. An effort to try to keep it alive, but threw it out of bounds.
Cincinnati needs to settle down. It's time to just take quick threes in the half court, and Wes Miller is a little frustrated on the sideline. First it was James, and then it was Miller, back-to-back possessions.
And they're 4 for 13 from three-point range. Top 3 in the conference in three-pointers attempted per game, but they're 16th in three-point percentage. 3 in a row that they've missed now.
Well, it's not that they're taking threes, it's they're taking them after 1 or 0 passes in the half court, which means you're not moving the defense at all. And it also means you have no chance for an offensive rebound.
That 3 goes down. It was Seydou Traore in the corner to give Utah their first lead since midway through the first half.
You know, the threes are fine, but you've got to move the defense. So you've got to go inside, change sides of the floor first, which gives you an opportunity not only for a better shot, but also a rebound.
Bob Miller not there, but Mustafa Cham is. The Robin to Miller's Batman, Cham with the slam.
Well, at least Cincinnati recognized that they needed to do that. They went inside to Miller, drew the defense, allowed Cham to attack on the glass.
Utah is 9 of 22 from 3. And loose ball, still loose. Timeout, Cincinnati. Oh, thank you, Arda. Got an American Conference battle this afternoon. Enjoyed covering the American Conference this year. You got Coach Brian Hodson in his first year with South Florida. FAU, even though they lost Bob Miller to Cincinnati, they're playing good basketball this year as well. That's not a good possession for Cincinnati coming out of the timeout. Brown rejected. Dede Thomas got all ball. There's a held ball, possession arrow in favor of Utah. Baseline out of bounds for the Utes.
Utah's giving Cincinnati a little bit of a dose of their own medicine. Very physical defensively.
Oh, Dawes got his own miss. Cham sent him packing and sent the ball out of bounds. Game trends. Utah 9 of 22 from 3. Cincinnati's done well in the paint scoring, but has not done well rebounding. As Utah +9 on the glass.
You know, it's concerning for Cincinnati. I mean, they should be dominating the glass, but give Utah credit. They're pesky today. They came ready to play and proved that they can play on the road in this league, and they continue to do that with Dawes.
Cincinnati led by as many as 9, and now a 3-point lead for Utah. It's the 8th double-double of the season for Keanu Dawes. 14 and 10 for him. Mustafa Cham knocked to the floor. Playing for Rice before transferring to Utah. 2-point lead. Conquo had no interest in shooting the open 3. 10 on the shot clock. 5 to go. Brown, floater, off balance, knocked around. Feeds it inside to Mustafa Cham, who hits the turnaround to tie it up at 57.
Well, good job by Celestine just looking in for Cham. I mean, Cham wants the ball, and he's posted up the last 2 possessions. Utah has to do a better job, though. They're playing dead behind him. He's got that nice jump hook. They need to get around him in the post.
Conquo. Fans wanted to travel. Instead, he throws it off the side of the backboard. Utah keeps it alive. And a shot clock violation.
Cincinnati very pesky on defense. Dawes just unaware, needs to recognize the clock and what happened in that total possession when he picked up the loose ball. Instead, he tried to make that extra pass, but you could see Alex Jensen understanding you got to get McHenry back in the game. You see why those guys play so many minutes, because their offense is totally out of sync when McHenry or Brown is not on the floor.
Lob inside for
when McHenry's not in.
How about Miller scoreless here in the second half? And it remains that way. Big Monday doubleheader tomorrow. It's a great one. Duke hosting Syracuse at Cameron Indoor. That one's at 7 on ESPN. And then Houston on the road in Ames, Iowa at Hilton Coliseum. Take on Milan Momcilovic and the Cyclones.
The Cyclones were cooking yesterday against Kansas. And obviously, the basketball people around the country know that Iowa State is an absolute legitimate threat to win the national championship.
Fans making some noise. Tyler McHenry. Boy, the defense just abandoning McHenry on that jump shot.
If you're Cincinnati, you've got two things to do. Stop McHenry and Brown on the outside and make sure that Dawes doesn't do his work on the baseline and in the paint.
Cham, turn around again, flush.
I mean, that's just way too easy. They continue just to do a good job of finding him on the inside, but give Cincinnati credit and Cham credit as well. He is really doing a job of moving, posting, and then reposting down in the paint.
15 points, 9 rebounds for Mustafa Cham. Traore muscles it up and in.
Oh, a good move by Traore. He just found a way in there. There was really nothing, nowhere to go. But when Brown and McHenry are out there on the floor and you pay a lot of attention to him, guys like Traore will find some space on the baseline.
Coach Roberts in the studio said it in the first half. Punch, counter punch. That's what we got here in the final 4 minutes between Cincinnati and Utah. Eric Rothman, Tim Welsh here in Cincinnati. A foul.
Because of the fact that I want him to be really aggressive. They know they have Brown and McHenry on the perimeter, but that forward position, if they add that third scorer and his toughness and experience, confidence. Alex Jensen's given Dawes a lot of confidence to be an aggressive offensive player. This afternoon, he's really shown it.
Dawes and Don McHenry have led the way for Utah, who has lost 14 straight true road games and is just 1 in 10 in Big 12 play this year, and they're on top by 1 on the road against Cincinnati. 3:37 to go in regulation. Mustafa Cham has been a star for the Bearcats here in the second half. It's his 4th block of the game. Four to shoot. McHenry looks up at the clock. Thomas stays in front of him and got a piece of that shot as it was on its way. And a violation, turnover on the Utes.
Well, really good job by Day Thomas. McHenry tried to beat him off that dribble, that little crossover, that hesitation that he's so good at to get you leaning one way, then he pulls up on the step back. But Day Thomas did a good job just forcing him sideline, not allowing him that middle part of the floor.
Coach, Cincinnati's had a problem closing out games this year. What do they need to do in the final 3 minutes?
Well, they need to get Baba Miller involved in the offense. It looks like Jizzle James is not on this game today. He's been under the weather. He didn't practice yesterday. And running things through Miller is probably what they need to do. And also, Cham has been very dominant.
It's been great, especially with Miller only having 1 point here in the second half. Celestine, 10-footer comes up short. Might have been deflected. Traore lost it and got bailed out on the ESPN app.
Texas trying to rebound after that game against Vanderbilt early in the week, but SEC women's side is a lot like the Big 12 men. Just every night is maybe a Final Four preview.
Traore now the 4th in double figures scoring for Utah with 10. Mustafa Cham has been excellent in this game, but a bad miss there. And Utah up by 3. Their largest lead of the game was 4 when it was 20-16.
It was a good job by Dawes on that. Notice Cham wants to go over that left shoulder and got into it a little bit. He never got comfortable on the look to the rim.
Go to Dawes. On his left foot, fading away. A 5-point lead, the largest of the game for Utah.
There's where Dawes, again, that confidence that Alex Jensen has given him just to be aggressive, go to the basket, be a little selfish offensively.
Day Thomas for 3. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Cincinnati.
Keanu Dawes, watch this little spin move, and for some reason Miller just backed up and never bodied up on Dawes, and Miller just not in his usual rhythm today. That technical foul kind of took away from some of his grit, seems to be.
I don't think he's had a field goal since.
Defensively, he just has not been as tough as he normally is.
Thomas thought about a three, takes a couple dribbles, pushes it up and in, and it ends a 6-0 run by Utah. And a timeout on the floor, Cincinnati within 3.
Involved with practice because of an illness, and you can see he just doesn't have that same fire this afternoon, but give him credit, he's out here.
Brown misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Just the second missed free throw in 14 attempts by Utah in this game. Miller without a field goal in the second half. Going to work against Okonkwo.
Just caught behind on that angle crossover and then leaned into the body.
Cincinnati 13 for 17 at the stripe here in this one as Don McHenry checks back in for some offensive support. Utah's side of things. Each team with 8 fouls. Miller hits a pair. The lead for Utah is 1. 1:06 to play. Terrence Brown finds McHenry. Day Thomas. Defensively, McHenry blows by him. Cham fights for the rebound. 40 seconds to go. Cincinnati wants to push. Celestine drops it off to Baba Miller, and Cincinnati takes the lead.
When Utah goes through Dawes, that's when they've been most successful. I would imagine they'll run something opposite him and then try to let him isolate on the wing and go to score.
7 seconds between the game and the shot clock. Keanu Dawes, too strong off the top of the rebound into the hands of Baba Miller. Final 20 seconds. Day Thomas. 3-point advantage for Cincinnati. 8-0 run for the Bearcats.
Plenty of time to dribble, drive, and try to get the ball to the rim and go play defense. See if Cincinnati tries to resist on the drive to the rim.
Brown hands it to McHenry, and he's fouled. Utah 12 of 14 at the free throw line tonight. McHenry missed it. Offensive rebound. 5 seconds ago, McHenry for 3, not there. Celestine the rebound, and he's fouled with